I want to address this. So J.P. Crawford got kicked out of the game yesterday on 2 consecutive high strikes calls. And I don't have a lot to say about the strike zone yesterday in particular. I do say, like, I'm excited for the day when we can just stop talking about balls and strikes and just have an electronic strike zone that's established before the season. And we can. And I don't think we're that far away from it, by the way. And I've been called a lot of names over the course of the last decade for advocating for this on Twitter. And the day is finally coming. These chickens are coming home to roost. All the people who, I think I started the hashtag Robot Umps, by the way. I'm not even kidding. And I'm like fully on board with. I've been posting pictures of the Base Wars umpire for like since 2013, probably on Twitter, because it's super annoying. It's super annoying that games get shifted by these like small increments, but iterated enough times it's fucking annoying. I'm so ready for robot umpires, and I don't want these guys to lose their jobs. Keep these guys, but they still got to call outs and stuff.
Why can't umpires be like the rest of us and become obsolete with technology? You know, like we all, anybody you talk to is like, my job could be replaced by AI anytime. It's like, well, you know what? Throw umpires in there too.
Not us though. Not this podcast.
When you see the automated balls and strikes at the minor league level and how quickly the ball and strike challenge calls happen, it's amazing. Like if you're sitting there drinking and socializing in the stands, you're not even going to notice there's a ball strike challenge. You will have no idea, because what happens is the pitch comes in, it gets called a ball or a strike. All the player has to do is just call the batter. It's like, you don't have to signal to anybody else. It's just, you just have to say, I want that looked at. And they immediately look at it. It just pops up on the screen. So it's not like they're putting the headphones on like they do with other challenges. It just pops up on the Jumbotron, whether it's a ball or a strike. They just show it on the little graphic, and that's it. It happens so fast. It's like, bring that to how have we not brought that to the major leagues yet? Yeah. It's been a couple years down at the minor league level. I'm sure it's a union thing where they're not going to let that in until the last possible second. But the reality is those home plate umpires still make all the calls. It's just in an instance where you need to make a challenge because a batter feels like that pitch was out of the zone, instead of having to turn around and cuss out an umpire, all he has to do is say, check that, check to make sure that's actually what you called.
So is the way that it's happening now not that each call is made, but that only when there's a challenge is there a replay?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like what you see on the screen with your little tracer. It's like every ball, every pitch that's being thrown is being traced by a machine behind the
scene.
But
it's only getting used in the instance of a challenge.
It's only getting used when the batter challenges it.
I hate that. Make it every pitch.
But here's the thing. I don't hate that at all. Because when you see these guys, like JP's situation, when you see them turn around and yell at the ump, they know. No,
it's certainly better than what we have. It's better than the system we have. But to me, it's like, let's just take all that out of it. It's essentially instantaneous. And the other thing about it is there are strikes in baseball that are not ever called strikes. Like the effective strike zone we've talked about is like a horizontal oval. Make the strike zone the strike zone. That's what pitchers are pitching to.
Well, here's the thing about the automated strike zone, though. The reason it works is because before the season starts, all these guys have to submit their heights, their sizes, so that they can make sure that they have an accurate strike zone portrayed for them, so that when the ump calls it, it's being called correctly. Sure. So the 2 things are at play. I mean, you've got like the biology of it all with all the information they're submitting, and then you're relying on these players to know the zone. I mean, the best hitters, you see it all the time. These guys know when it's like not a strike and they're getting called a strike.
Well, they know what hasn't been called a strike their entire lives. That will be an adjustment.
I think the reason why it makes sense to have the player call it is because it still gives the umpire some benefit of the doubt. Because every now and then,
fuck him.
Every
now
and then you'll see a player bitch about a strike call when it's actually a strike, when it's actually in the zone. Now, if he were to go and challenge that in that moment, he would lose the challenge. And so then like it at least gives the umpire some security. And I'm not saying like we don't have to fuck him. I don't like umpires.
Can the pitchers not challenge? Can the pitchers not challenge?
They can. I believe they can challenge too.
How many challenges do they get?
I don't remember the number.
Fuck them. Get rid of them.
I like the human element. You can't
more umps.
You can't just award people. No.
Let AI be the umpires.
There's gamesmanship.
It's bullshit.
If we go too far, we're just
they do it in tennis. They do it in tennis. It's fine.